We out here staying connected. Sister Nemo. Her and them triplets. All right, we ain't gonna say triplets. We know it's one.
Yeah. Thank you for the pillow.
You got it, darling. Get yourself comfortable.
All right. This is comfortable.
Yeah, it is. It fits you because you're solid as a rock right now.
Oh, thank you so much.
It fits you.
Thank you.
What's happening, Nemo? How you been?
Hey, y'all. I've been good. Put my dress down here a little bit.
Let us see the baby before you sit down and get comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
Stand to the side. Let me see.
A lot bigger than last time.
Look at there.
You guys are so sweet. Oh, man.
You did it, though.
Huh?
You did it.
Thank you. Yeah.
You know, everybody else is just supporting you.
Right.
You know what I mean? My job is just to stay consistent.
Right.
As long as I do that and you do the leg work, you're the one that's winning.
Right.
Proud mom. That baby gonna be so proud of you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is, you know, like I already have like the maternal, motherly feelings like happening for me. Just naturally, you know, the body is already doing what it's supposed to do. And if anyone ever asks me what you've been doing here lately, creating organs, okay, that's what my body is doing.
Yeah.
That takes a lot out of me, but it's my first time, so I'm very, you know, excited. But most importantly, I'm just glad to have been given the opportunity to experience this from a very healthy point of view, from a very sober point of view, and it's amazing, you know. This is my biggest success right now is this baby. So I'm very fortunate to have made it out of the streets and wasn't able to do it on my own. Normally, whenever I had to get out of addiction, I always had to get either arrested by the cops or something dramatic had to change, and it was something that was out of my will, you know,
To make you slow down.
yeah. And this time I didn't have to go to jail. I didn't have to go to a year-long program. What it was is just I was in agony, you know what I mean? And so God just once again was there for me, and so he's my biggest support, along with Brother Daz, Miss Mona. You know, outside of that addiction, I was able to be moved into like my actual God-given path, you know what I mean? And so I'm gonna talk about all the good things that's happening, but I never want to forget where I come from. You know, this is a real life thing that happens to us. And so I was being rejected a lot towards the very end of my addiction. And what I mean by that is, you know, I bring all the money, all the company, but a lot of people got to stay in those same places, but I had to leave. And so
You had to see something different to do something different.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
you
so
did that.
I couldn't understand why I was the one of the few that I had to go. And so I thought I was being rejected, but really I've heard this and it really stuck to me. It wasn't me being rejected. That was God's way of protecting me. But I didn't see it that way at the moment, you know? And now that I look back, it's like every single thing that's happened was for a reason, you know what I mean?
Yes, it was.
And I really feel very blessed to be alive, man. I wasn't supposed to come out of the trenches, and that bind that really kept me, God broke that bind, you know what I mean?
Right. You know how much inspiration you're giving some of these women who do watch these videos, who either addicts,
Yeah.
young, maybe even knocked up, but don't even know if they're knocked up.
Yeah.
They don't even know if it came from a date,
Right.
the dope boy, or that night that you stayed the night somewhere just to get some rest. There's so many women dealing with that, man. You're an inspiration to make some of these women feel like, damn, it's time to go home.
Yeah, it's time to go home, man. And sometimes, man, God
That baby
really,
counts.
Yeah, he's the reason why. Like
right.
I was like, that word to go home had a whole different spiritual attachment to it.
Yeah.
It meant death to me hearing that. You know what I mean? But right
When you
now,
say it meant death, what you mean it meant death to
what
you?
I mean by that is like something I mentioned earlier, you know, certain words had like a key hold on me, you know, and it was just a company that I've kept, not really unbeknownst to me, not really fully understanding the depths of what happens in addiction.
Yeah.
for my testimony, my story, it was a lot of spiritual warfare happening towards me. And it came to a point where it wasn't just coming from one or two. It was literally like wherever the enemy saw me. Because if you have a little bit of light, and I'm not boasting, I'm no better than the next person, but I know I have my own calling.
But you're getting better.
You know what I mean? I'm getting better. And so whenever he notices, whenever you get stuck in his playground, the enemy's playground, he notices a little bit of light in somebody. He knows that's who to attack.
Yeah.
And so I was getting attacked by so many different familiar spirits from my childhood, you know, that came into adulthood, things I haven't really like stopped and fought back or put a stop to it or even addressed, confronted it.
Right.
And so because in my weak moments I was being attacked, I faced rejection, I faced a lot of battles on my own. And I was one of the ones in those dark alleys, you know, 3 a.m, screeching to the sky, like, why me? You know what I mean? Punching the hotel walls.
Had you ever had to sleep out there?
There's times
Or was you just staying up, hanging out there?
I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm one of the people, I would like to say, like, I've always had somewhere to stay, and I do.
Yeah.
That's the thing. My house is 5 minutes away, our house. But in addiction, everything was a battle for me. Everything was an obstacle. To go home, to walk home was a 30-minute walk, the most 25. I couldn't find a ride.
You think that if you couldn't find a ride, that just kind of gave you that more excuse to stay out there at that time?
To stay out there.
Yeah. And you could have took that 30-minute ride. Part of you wanted to stay too.
Yeah, I mean, I could sit here and really try to be something that I'm not, but I'm not. My truth is, it do get to a point where you're having to ask somebody to sleep in their car because you're so scared to go into that house. You know what I mean? The truth is, there's times where some of those nights where all your fears come to life.
Yeah.
All your nightmares are in front of you, and you're like, what is going on? Yeah. And you just have to duck and hide in a corner. You know what I mean? So I feel like the black sheeps, man, we're really the chosen ones because I know I didn't go through what I went through, man. And right now I'm letting God be a part of all my affairs. And the reason why I keep mentioning him is because I no longer have to fight this battle on my own.
That's right.
You know what I mean? I no longer have to internally suffer what I've suffered. Right now, I want to talk about the good aspects of coming from where I came from in those dark alleys to...
I want to jump into that, but I want to touch base on something real quick.
Yeah.
Only because my heart's still fluttering from what we was talking about.
Okay.
We was talking about some scars. You know, and we all got old scars from damage in time. There's some people, and we'll give an example. It may be somebody that got themselves together and got a scar on their face from digging in it because either A, they didn't have it, or it's what the addiction was doing to them. Digging a hole in their skin. We see a lot of that in a lot of people. And then you go get yourself clean and take care of it, and some of these scars are still there.
Right.
And those are your memories that you got to take along with your sobriety.
Oh, yeah.
How you looking on your scars?
You know, like, as I mentioned, for a woman, our body is our temple. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We glorify it. We hold it to a certain standard. And so when I was using some of the cutting or the scratches or whatever, the digging, I wasn't really like fully aware. To me, I thought that pain was like a relief for me.
Right, because you didn't have the drug.
Because I didn't have the drug.
So that's what I figured that most people did that for, because when they didn't have it, go ahead, my bad.
No, you're absolutely fine, but you're on the right track because it's always like to numb one thing from, you know, to numb yourself. If I didn't have the drugs, I had that.
You had that pain.
So self-harm comes with it, whether it's internally, emotionally, through shame or guilt, or whether it's through hurting other people. Harm comes in the process of addiction. Now those scars, it's like, as a woman, I'm healing, and each scar I know where it came from, you know. But it's like the story of Job, man. Like, I was really bad out there, you know what I mean? The lowest I've been was 90 pounds at 5'10". You know, I was skin and bones, and I thought I was hot shit. But looking back into it, those scars were more vivid. But now that I've gotten healthier and gained weight, I look good, but internally is what I'm working on. You know what I mean?
So when you get in that shower or get in that mirror and brush that teeth and you see one or two of those scars, I know you're strong in how you deal with it, but tell us how you deal with that. When you see them scars, What crosses your mind? I mean, I know the wound
Yeah.
crossed your mind, but
What crosses my mind is not even how it happened. It's more like
glad
it's
I
a
got
part of me now.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
at this point, how do I view that? And my biggest takeaway from that, those scars I've gained throughout the years are, from this point on, whenever something like that pops in my brain that might take away from my confidence, that might make me stress over as a woman, as a person.
Yeah, they can take away from your walk. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I gotta look at it from like, okay, how do I, from what I've been through to how I'm allowing God to enter my life, how do I talk to God? How do I allow Him to change my eyesight with the way I see these scars right now? And He can do that for you. To where I was looking at myself like, I became not so confident, covering up and stuff like that. But now it's like, people ain't even gonna notice that half the time because they're so busy smitten by the charm or the beauty that's coming from, that's exuding from the inside out,
Yeah.
And it's just another challenge, even spiritually, for another way that I'm being tested for me to love myself on more.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it from that point of view now.
I love that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you on top of it, man. And I'm
I'm
glad
trying.
that you got past them quiet scars.
Yes.
That's why you where you are now.
Yeah.
That's why God got you like
Yeah.
that.
And it's kind of like with forgiveness in a way. It's not
Yeah.
just something that you do one time and you're over it, man. Forgiveness is something that I'm working on with myself and loving on myself and forgiving myself for what I put myself through. And there's times where I just sit there and cry. I'm like, damn, I can't really believe I went through that, and that.
Yeah.
And I feel sorry for myself, but I no longer do that. Now when those feelings arises, I try to place that with something stronger. So I'm like, all right, God, what do I do now? How do I go about it like this?
Well,
So I talk to Him all the time.
Guess what? Your inner me ain't your enemy no more because you changed your whole thought process. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and check out my Facebook statuses because I'll be going in. Okay,
Going
my
in.
past is not a life sentence. Okay.
Yeah, so what's been going on good though, man? I know you done got hooked up with Sister Mona. You done got linked up with a few programs. You meeting new people. What that look like for you?
From one person to another, I've been God gonna bring His people to me, right? And so sometimes the people that I want to accept me ain't the faces that God gonna bring. So He brought Brother Des, and through Brother Deswan, He brought Mona. So Miss Mona, I got so much love and respect for you and what you do out here for these women, because the gestures that you've shown me and has really improved my life in ways such as connecting me with parental classes, Mother's Cove, where I enjoyed, and I'm graduating from that this Saturday.
All right,
they've
let's
given
go.
me, through this connection, through staying connected and through Mona, I have gotten all my baby needs. I mean, cribs being mailed to me, play cribs, diapers, clothes,
All the
name
way
it.
ready.
Everything is ready for him. But in the beginning, I was like, how I'm gonna do this, God? How I'm gonna get all this stuff? My family ain't here, my parents ain't here. How I'm gonna do this? And He told me, those faces ain't gonna be the faces I'm gonna bring for you.
Yeah,
And I had to learn how to accept that.
yeah. He gonna bring new faces.
He
He
gonna bring
has.
new faces. I wanted my family to be those faces.
Yeah.
But they ain't even want none of that.
Well, you know what though? They come eventually.
They do. They
They're
look out
following
for
you.
me.
Trust me, they're following you.
Yeah, they be looking at my Facebook, and I'm proud. You know
But
what
when
I
they
mean?
see that consistency,
Yeah.
and they see,
I want to show you something.
and they see where you're going, oh my God! Look at what
And I
we
do know who the
working
baby daddy is. It's just, we ain't going that route no more.
There we go.
Now, am I going to do the right thing and say, hey, you got this coming? Yes.
Yeah.
But
Let's see what you're working with.
they got the 3D printout.
Oh, you got the color. Oh no, that color, but it's 3D.
Don't get too close, because
Okay, we don't want
it's
no
a
personal
minor
information.
thing. Yeah. So this is
So she's definitely,
he got my lips.
definitely.
He was in there doing this. He was like, but
He
you've
got your hat,
experienced
too.
this before.
I have.
You know what I mean? But to me, it's all new,
Yeah. So what you
And-
think the next step is for you?
Oh, the next step, man.
Are you ready to try to get into a place and be by yourself? You think you're ready for that?
I think I'm ready for anything that God has to do for me. But as people, we all have that hurdle that, to some people, is just a little leap
Yeah.
or just a step over. But for me, it could be mountains. And being on my own, living on my own, I've done it before.
Right.
But it is something that's one of my biggest challenges. You know, it's
Right.
like being a new mother,
Yeah.
having to maybe possibly be a single mother.
Because you're
How
by
I'ma
yourself.
do it? I'm by myself.
Nothing but you and thoughts and things to
Yeah.
do.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Distractions get you best when you're by yourself. That's when your inner me start playing with you.
Yeah.
The things that I can do to substitute, to substitute this boring time, or the fact that my cable's not on, or my fire stick's not working, or baby sleep, and let me stand outside and see who I can see. You know, things of that nature.
Yeah.
You know, all those things come in play when you stay by yourself. That's why I wanted to talk to you about that, because I want to make sure you're ready for that. But I also know you need a vehicle. So those things kind of go hand in hand.
They do. They
You
do.
know what I mean?
In order for me to gain my full access of independency, what I'm doing is talking about it, hopefully, and it lands in the right ears.
That's right.
And with that being said, you know, I am considered a single mother. I do have support. I do have a boyfriend. But at the same time, I know that to me right now, my biggest concern is for the safety and health of my baby. It's about me, but I'm no longer number one priority.
Yeah.
Even through law, like I gotta make sure he's safe, you know.
Right.
And I'm safe where I'm at right now, but I have dreams, you know, and I have desires that I would like for it to match and meet up with God, you know what I mean? And I hope that
I think you're in a good position.
for where I am right now.
And I like you where you are now.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, you know, I'm gonna be personal. I like to see you do what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your team right now is strong.
Thank you.
And it's got you like this.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's get you. Do you think you'll get back to wanting to be a model eventually?
To me,
Or let me say it the right way. Do you think you'll get back to modeling again? Because you used to model in LA, right?
yes.
Do you ever think that you'll get back to that?
I'm shutting the door on everything I did in my past.
Gotcha.
It's amazing how soon as I really turned my back to that world I was in active use, I turned my back to some of the worldly desires that was tough for me to get out of.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I know that I'm not just of flesh. I know that there's something bigger for me. And with that, that's where my blessings gonna come.
Right.
You know what I mean? Those that love to see that light, those that love to see that journey, that baby journey that I'm in, is gonna grow, and I'm excited for that more.
You got new goals.
I got You
got new goals.
I got new goals, man. I want to be the woman that I know that's in there.
I see you helping people too.
Absolutely, I would love to. I'm actually doing peer support through eBase Academy, which is like classes that you take. I got my medical assistant diploma mailed to me finally. I can show you that.
Good job. No, I believe you. Yeah.
Yes.
Good shit.
So I'm doing things little by little to set myself up for success. But I just want to say, like, I'm a product of somebody who was molested at a younger age from somebody who shouldn't have. I've been sexually assaulted multiple times. I've overdosed multiple times, woke up without Narcans.
Yeah.
I have woken up and not known whose bed or whose house I was in. Those things would shame somebody to where they can't even come up out of that. But
That's
I
right.
want people to know that, man, which is one of my favorite sayings, and I'm going to say it every time I get a chance. God sees through our rib cage. He sees through that heart cage, man. He sees what pumps you. He sees who you are.
Right.
And so he's closer to us than our own jugular vein. And with that being said, ain't nothing that he can't do for you. And I know dreams are possible, to never stop dreaming, but to just accept, you know what I mean, what he places in front of you. Because if you can go through this right now, imagine what he can give you when you out.
Man.
I don't compare and contrast. I don't worry about who ain't like me before. I don't live for people anymore. You know what I mean? That was my biggest thing. Always living for people, what they thought of me. Every time I came in the room, I don't do that no more.
Living for you now, huh?
Now I'm just minding my business.
You and this baby.
Yeah, so I go to my classes. I do my little online thing here and there. I ain't where I want to be in life, but I know each step is headed towards that, and
That's
that
what's
to me
happening.
makes me so happy.
There we go.
I want to give a shout out to Munch, because I seen you at OSU. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Those are new names I'm saying, because you know,
Good shit.
now
yeah.
we're doing different.
Yeah. People
big
don't know.
levels.
Y'all ran into each other at the same hospital.
Yes.
You know, they're for the same thing, really,
Yeah,
probably,
yeah.
and recognized each other from the channel. That's a
Yes.
beautiful thing, man. It's a connection.
But that's you connecting us, though.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you know, I try to go from corner to corner.
Yeah.
But we out here doing this solo. But I do want to do one thing. You know, I'm going to have you leave something positive at the end. But I want you to shout out your Cash App in case there's somebody out there that want to support you and the baby
sure, man.
and your future. Shout your Cash App out for
all
me.
likes and comments, everything like that. I look forward to seeing those things, man. And let's get this channel to really grow. And God gonna definitely take it where it needs to go, because there's a lot of people that's gonna really bring it there.
Okay.
My Cash App is the $ capital N IMO got cash. So Nimo got cash.
Let's go. Let's help Nemo with whatever we can do to help her out with.
Out.
She doing her thing.
Yes.
Trust me.
Yeah.
We out here staying connected.
You know this,
Let's
man.
go.